My name's Allan Barclay. I'm the Electrical Services Team Leader for Building Services, and I work for Fife Council. The type of work Building Services carry out is the reactive maintenance work for the domestic housing stock, and that equates to about 130,000 jobs per year. We also carry out the reactive maintenance for the public buildings as well. The work ranges from small time repairs up to and above £2 million worth of work. The department's involvement with flexible working is really more on the mobile side. We within the service have got a lot of staff that work out in the field to carry out repairs, and we were an obvious choice, I think, to pilot any movement on that front. We traditionally, before we embarked on sort of trialling mobile working and moving forward with it, we worked in a very traditional paper-orientated fashion. All our operatives would come into depots in the morning and they would go and do their work and come back in at night. It's meant our staff and our workforce reevaluating how they work, getting pushed jobs one at a time, ensuring that we're out in the field more often. So it's had a direct impact on service delivery for us as a service, and it's enabling us to sort of get more out of our staff. It'd be fair to say the staff have responded to the mobile flexible working in a changed sort of environment. They've went through all the feelings. They've went through this sort of feeling of sort of unsure as to what it's going to mean for them, a bit of fear. But once we engaged them effectively and got them through the processes of that change, the majority now, if not all of them, are embracing the change that we're going through and actually driving the change, which is really quite interesting. Because we've engaged them all the way through, we had meetings with them on a regular basis, implemented some of the changes that they've thought were necessary to make the new processes work. In so doing that, as I say, it's enabled them to have an influence on where we're heading, and they're fully bought into it. Well, tangible benefits the staff have benefited from are probably the real sort of flexible working style that we've got now. Whereas before, when you're working on a paper-based system, they were coming in at night, as I said, and going in the mornings as well. They've got a real opportunity now just to sort of finish when they finished their previous job, because they're now managing one job at a time and somebody else is managing the workload. Whereas before, with the paper-based system, they were going out with a number of jobs and felt that they had to complete that number of jobs. Now they've got that ability to just say, look, can I finish at this particular time, or can I take a certain day off? And we have that ability to offer that. I could say that with confidence, that it's heightened the job satisfaction aspect of it, because the feedback that we're getting from the staff that are involved in it. As I said before, there was a reluctance maybe to look at it and get involved in it. We now have a reluctance of staff that maybe, because of the efficiencies we're getting, we're having to take one or two staff off that method. By taking the staff off it, they're getting a reluctance of people wanting to move off the work style now. So there's a real buy into it, and they really want to stay on it, and I think most staff that are not involved want to be involved now. I think some of the staff have felt that some of the stress being taken away from them. As I mentioned before, when they're going out with a day's worth of work, they're prioritising the workload themselves and having to look at that and say, well, what needs to happen here? That's all been taken away. All they get now is one job issued to them at a time, and they phone back in to tell the schedulers that we've got at the back office now dealing with that aspect, what they've done, and they get their next job. So they have the freedom when they're finished their day's work that they're actually finished for the day, whereas in the past they might have been away to do some paperwork before they had to come in the next morning. I think the e-learning module will aid the staff as giving them a more interactive way to work, allowing people to sort of engage when they're able to engage, look at the information and digest it when they can. When people go through structured environments or classroom environments, we found that they tend to not engage the same way, or they tend to sort of take in what they want to take out of it. Whereas the flexible styles that are going to be offered through the e-learning package will allow them to do it at their will and at their pace. So I think they'll take advantage of it from that perspective. With the move towards mobile working and taking away some of the paper-based systems that we had, it doesn't just allow the frontline staff to actually focus more on the clientele that they're there to visit. It also allows our back office staff, our backup supervision staff, to actually be freed up from that paper process as well, and allows them to go out and carry out sort of safety audits and checks on some of the work that we've done. But it also, as I said, on the frontline staff, it allows them to focus primarily on customer care rather than potentially on the paperwork that they need to fill in. and that's evidenced through the information that we've had feedback from the supervisors and such like as well.